Hello, everyone, and I'm Metis Balaska, and welcome to the stream. What's going on with my tracking? Ah, god damn it. Really? It crashed now? What? Oh my god, are you serious? Just as the stream starts. Just as it starts. All right. So yeah, last time we beat Berserker. 4 servants remain, including Saber. So who is going to be our next opponent? Well, we do know Assassin, so maybe he's next. Well, let us find out. So let us get to the game. We spend 2 hours training, then go on break as usual. This just reminds me how amazing you are, Saber. I nod approvingly and gulp some water from the kettle I brought along. I quench my thirst and wipe the sweat from my neck with a towel, which helps me to finally relax. We don't mention that. We don't mention that, Illya. He is so blunt. Is so blunt about things most people would find awkward. That's not true. It may look like I'm just getting beat up, but it was actually worse before. In fact, I didn't pass out even once, so I'd say I did pretty well today. Let me have this! Illya's expression turns thoughtful. She's sharp. I found it odd too, actually. Either Saber was holding back out of concern for me, or she isn't in top form. Whatever the case, Saber didn't go all out. Well, she may not always fight seriously while we're training, but she's always been merciless without exploiting openings before. Today she lacks drive, though. Normally she just rushes in and attacks hard enough to knock me out, but there was none of that today. I think you think so too, Illya? Maybe Saber has given up on me. Huh? Saber would never hold back. If she had the compassion for that, she wouldn't have beat me so bad that first day. Yeah, Saber isn't the sort to hold back in training. That's why I was able to focus so completely on a weapon. What's gotten into Saber? This isn't training at all. It seems unbelievable, but did she go easy on me? Something's not right. Saber has to see it too. Yeah, I can't imagine you ever taking it easy on me. And I know you were being serious. But I think you were holding back. If you don't come right at me, this is pointless.
ですが、そうなるとマスターに近づきすぎです。それでは展開によっては体がぶつかってしまうというか。
Because again, we still gotta act like we had sex. Huh? Well, we're sparring, so I guess we might bump shoulders or something. Besides, you used to slam your whole body into mine to knock me down because you said I wasn't defending myself well enough, and close combat is your specialty, Saber.
私、そんなことをしていたのでしょうか?
That's kind of a weird question, but yeah, frequently. Remember how you slammed me into the wall when we first sparred? I said you were pretty strong for a girl, and you said it was natural for a swordsman. That's just gremlin smirk on Illya's face. Saber stands there dumbfounded. What's going on? Saber is acting really weird today. I'd hate to learn she isn't feeling well. I should talk to Tosaka later. We get back to our training, but it's still different than before. But after a few strikes, Saber sets down her shinai. Is this a new kind of training? She might strike me straight in the head at the moment I drop my guard and get close. I breathe hard, watching Saber cautiously. Saber narrows her eyes, showing that she is serious now, and steps forward. What? That's not like her. Huh? I lower my shinai. Lunch? Is it that time already? According to the clock, it's a bit before noon. It's lunchtime, sir, I'm sure, but this is the first time Saber's been the one to step up and suggest it. Neither Saber nor I paid much attention to the time when we trained before. We take a break, then notice we were hungry, then check the clock and see that it was about lunchtime. It's a good idea. I could go along with it easily enough. All right. We're going to go with the second one. No particular reason. I get nothing from this, but I just wanna. Yeah, Illya is here too, so let's have lunch early today. I agree to Saber's suggestion and lower my shinai. And then... Saber's shoulders sag in relief. What's really going on? She's acting so weird. Maybe I should at least ask why. Huh? Do you think the time I spend and working on lunch is wasted time? I guess I should have made bento for lunch every day. That would have been much easier and less time consuming, and I wouldn't have to be in the kitchen every time either. I put all that work into lunch as a way to thank her, but if Saber doesn't like me spending so much time on that, so be it. What? Oh yeah, lunch, right. I lean my shinai against the wall and set 3 cushions on the floor.
液入れるのはその後なのですから、早く厨房に立ってもらわなければ困ります。
Why? We don't need to go back to the living room. We don't need, and we don't need to rush. What would be the problem? Just the entire sprite going black and white. I love it. Saber stopped suddenly, and I practically hear gears grinding. And how come today of all days you're so insistent on stopping on time? What's gotten you in such a hurry?
いえ、別に急いでいるというわけではないのですが。
Then we can enjoy a nice leisurely lunch since we have time.
いえ、それはそうなのですが。いいですから今に行きましょう。昼食を取らなければ午後の鍛錬に支障をきたします。
And I said I already prepared it. If you got the time, then you can go to the living room and bring back the bento I made this morning.
お弁当ですか?
I nod as I open the window as to let in the cool air. And then our stomachs growls, signaling that we're both hungry. All right, we always let our stomachs growling be our meal alarm. No wonder it seemed weird. I turned to Saber. What's wrong, Saber? Did opening the window make it too cold? We should at least ventilate the room since we're eating here, though.
いえ、何でもありません。今に昼食が用意してあるのですね。
Saber dashes out of the dojo. What was that all about? Saber's half-hearted hits, the way she acted now, maybe she does have a fever. It's noon and we eat lunch. I made a hearty breakfast, so lunch is boxed leftovers.
これは、なるほど。朝の料理をパンに挟んだのですね。
Saber nods her approval as she eats her sandwich. The way she uses a paper napkin to keep her hands from getting dirty is such grace even in the way she eats a bento.
朝も思ったけど、シロはお料理上手よね。私ね、ご飯が美味しいのはいいことだと思うの。
On the other end of the spectrum, Illya eagerly crams her sandwich into her mouth. I can't tell if she's just playing around or copying me. Illya seems to have better manners than Saber, except at the table.
待ちなさい、イリアスフィール。それでは髪が汚れてしまいます。
That's adorable. Illya must have had butter smeared on the corner of her mouth or something. Saber leans in reluctantly, wiping off whatever it is.
ありがとう。けど、どういうつもり？セイバーは私のこと嫌いなんでしょ？ええ。今でも警戒はしています。ですが私とて人の心はわかる。あなたには敵意がなく、シローは客人として迎えました。ですから私も最低限の礼は尽くしますし、それにその髪は美しい。目の前で汚れてしまうのはいささか心苦しいというものでしょう。そんなこと言ったってシロは私のものだけどまあ少しはセイバーのこと考えてあげてもいいわ。シロを勝たせてあげることはできるけど、私じゃ守ってあげられないものね。
Illya shrugs and takes another bite of her sandwich.
言われるまでもありません。マスターの盾となるのはサーバントの責務ですから。
Saber responds plainly enough as they eat. Their conversation hasn't changed much, but at least they sound calmer. As we relax after finishing our meal, Tosaka comes in.
シロいる？こっちの準備はできたから早めに顔を出してよね。
Her message delivered, Tosaka heads straight back to the outbuilding. Oh, right, I forgot. Tosaka was going to teach me magecraft in the afternoon. I never had a proper teacher, so Tosaka's magecraft lectures have been really helpful. She seems to be willing to keep teaching, so I should clean up here. So I should clean up here quickly and head over to her. Sorry, but I'm going to head to Tosaka's room. I'm not sure how long it's going to take, so you two should go back to your rooms and rest.
いいよ。私もなんだか眠いし、少しお昼寝する。
Illya walks out of the dojo, rubbing her sleepy eyes. Give me a bit. That's a relief. As long as Illya goes to sleep, I don't think there's any problem with me going to Tosaka's room.
シロ、リーの部屋に行くのですか?
Yeah, I just said that. Tosaka's teaching me the basics of magecraft.
その必要はあるのでしょうか。バーサーカーを通れましたし、私たちが協力して挑む敵は存在しなくなった。ならば、シローがリンに教わることはなくなったのではないですか。
She might be right. Tosaka's lessons were originally meant to help me when we went up against Berserker. So with him gone, there's no reason for her to teach me anything else. No, Berserker or not, I still want to learn from her. There's still so much I don't know as a mage, and I'd like to fix that as soon as I can.
そうですか。シローがそう言うのでしたら、私に止める権利はありません。
Huh? Saber looks sullen as she says this.
じゃあレクチャーを始めるけど、その前に聞いておくわ。あんた、体で壊れちゃったところとかない？
Oh, I've only got like 5 broken bones, nothing serious. That's how she began. It's kind of an odd question to ask someone to ask the moment I arrive. Huh? Broken? Like what?
だから動かない箇所はないかって聞いてるの。あれだけめちゃくちゃしたんだから、神経が焼き切れるのは分かってるのよ。まあそんなのはどうでもいいんだけど、体のどこに異常があるのかぐらい知っておかないと授業にならないから。
It's not like I care or anything, baka. She's such a tsundere. According to Tosaka, some parts of me should be numb. But since I'm the one living in my body, I can say she's wrong. Nope, everything's working fine. The headache and fever are gone now, and I've had a night's sleep. I feel fine.
はあ、そんなわけないでしょ。セイバーの剣を投影したのよ。あんなの腕一本維持してもおかしくない芸当じゃない。
But I told you I'm fine. Besides, if my body wasn't working, I wouldn't have been able to carry Illya back to the house. And at that point, the only thing wrong with me was a headache or a fever, and a fever.
嘘よそんなの。シロ、ちょっと腕見せてみなさい。
I'll take it out for you! She tugs on my arm before I can reply, then stares at it. I realize as I'm holding my breath. I may have gotten used to her being around, but I'm definitely not used to her being so close.
本当に異常はないみたいね。焼き付いた跡かな。あざみたいに黒くなってるところはあるけど、他は完全に修復されてる。いえ、治ったというより、ようやく生え変わったってとこかしら。
Tosaka mutters quietly to herself as she inspects my arm. Hey! As if that weren't enough to leave me beet red.
ふざけた体ね。これ、例の自然治癒による回復じゃないわよ。シローの自然治癒は明らかに外部からの働きかけだけど、こっちはあなた自身の治癒能力だと思う。
Rin lifts my sleeve up, pressing her fingers along my arm. Stop! That's enough, Tosaka. Go sit back down if you're done.
何よ、こっちはあんたの体を見てあげてるっていうのに。ははん。
Tosaka leans closer to me.
熱は下がったって言うけど、まだ十分ありそうじゃない？
Now she's just being an imp. That's for me to worry about. It's none of your business, so leave me alone.
そうなんだ。関係ないんなら、私がこんなことしても影響はないわけよね。
Don't put your hand on my forehead. I don't have a fever, so there's no point to this.
ええ、そうみたいね。今度は耳まで真っ赤だもの。熱っていうより酔っ払ってるみたい。
She's such an imp. She's doing this on purpose. This is deliberate, I know it. Tosaka, you know exactly what you're doing, don't you?
ああ、バレた？シローがあんまりにもベタな反応するから、ついからかっちゃった。
Anyone who would toy with a man's innocent and feeling like that should do their repentance in hell.
ま、冗談はこの程度にしといてあげる。あんまりからかうとミイラ取りがミイラになりかねないしね。
That's a problem. I feel like Tosaka's only teasing me harder now. Tosaka, might I remind you that this is serious and I'm here to learn from you?
あら、失礼ね。私だってそのつもりよ。今のだって教え子の状態を確認しただけだもの。
Yeah? So are you going to get to today's topic then?
そうね。本題といっても私の専門外だからアドバイスぐらいしかできないけど、しないよりはマシだから。正直に言ってしまえばね、私があなたの力になってあげられたのは前回でおしまいなのよ。こんな短期間の授業で魔術は身につかない。私はただあなたが使ってなかったスイッチを取り付けただけ。それはわかる？
You mean that jewel? Yeah, ever since I swallowed it, I've been able to turn my magic circuits on and off without creating them from scratch every time.
そう、一朝一夕で教えてあげられたのはそれぐらい。けどそれだって今まで鍛えてきたものを表に出したに過ぎないわ。私はあなたが体で覚えた魔術を後押しすることしかできないし、他の魔術を教える気もない。だって才能ないもの、あなた。
Yeah, you being so blunt about that is enlightening. But you can at least give me some advice about the magecraft that I can use, right? So tell me, what kind of magic I used last night? Tosaka doesn't answer. She's just glaring at me like I'm her worst enemy. Tosaka, this is supposed to be a lecture, right? I get nervous when you go all quiet like that. She looks away, frowning. It's only a brief flicker of her expression, though.
無理よ。私、投影魔術なんて使えないもの。自分が知らないものを教えられるわけないじゃない？
Huh? Something you can't do? Wasn't what I used against Berserker pretty basic for a mage? I just imagine a structure and let magical energy flow into it. It's no different than strengthening magecraft. But flooding your own magical energy into something that's already formed is difficult. It's like adding what you think is red to an existing mixture of paints to draw out the red hue, only to end up with something with some completely different color. By comparison, it's much easier to work with my own paint from the very beginning. I can just draw out whatever I want that way. What do you mean you can't do it? I'm sure you can do that kind of thing. It's much easier than strengthening.
あんたね、今の他の魔術師に言ったら間違いなく殺されるわよ。あんたがやったのは投影で、かつ宝具を完全に複製していた。あそこまでできるフェイカーなんて私は知らない。
A chill runs down my spine. It's not my imagination. Tosaka is actually angry.
どうってことないわ。そんなことあんたの蔵を見た時からうすうす感づいてたんだから。今さらエミやシローに殺意を抱いても仕方ない。勘違いしてるようだから言ってあげるとね。あなたがやったのは投影の魔術なの。実在する美術品とか名剣とかそういったものを自身の魔力でイメージとして再現するっていう半端な魔術よ。大抵は儀式の際に使用する一時しのぎの代用品として使われる。イメージで編んだそれは当然架空のものとして認識されるからすぐに消えてしまうものなんだけどね。
Huh? I get that the replica is created from a mental image. I saw Saber's sword in my dream and imagined the golden sword based on it. I don't really get it. Magic energy is like clay, right? Reproduction or no, what you make shouldn't disappear when the object takes form, right?
そんなわけないじゃない。魔力ってのは自分の体の中でしか存在できないものでしょ。だから物に魔力を通したり魔力をスターターにして自然干渉を行うんじゃない。そりゃあ私だって魔力を飴のようにこねて探検ぐらい作れるわ。けどそれで終わり。それは探検の形をした飴に過ぎないし、外に出した魔力は気化していくからすぐに消えてしまう。いい？魔力だけで作り上げたものは長続きしないものだし、あくまで形だけのものよ。まあその形だけのものを外見も性能もオリジナルに近づけるのが投影魔術らしいんだけど。
She's right. Projection, magical energy has no shape. I can feel it while it is flowing through my body. Once it leaves, it thins out and eventually disappears entirely. But then, no matter how many blueprints I make in my mind and inform with magical energy, everything will fade because it's all made from magical energy. Now that I think about it, when Kuritsugu was teaching me magecraft, I showed him my half-assed attempt at projection, but he told me to stick to strengthening because what I was doing instead was inefficient. I see, so projection consumes a lot of energy, and there's no point in using it because what you make disappears immediately.
そういうこと。例えば銃の魔力を使って剣を投影するでしょ。その場合その剣の力はせいぜい3か4なのよ。人間のイメージなんて穴だらけだから本物通りの複製なんてできないんだもの。対して銃の魔力を使って剣を強化した場合、その剣の力は20にも30にも跳ね上がる。加えてその持続時間は投影の何百倍よ。分かった？投影魔術っていうのは今じゃ儀式の時にしか使われないものなの。道具が揃えられなかった時の代用品としてすぐに消える複製品を用意するための魔術に過ぎない。シローの父親が強化を教えたのは適切よ。ただでさえ魔術回路が少ないんだから、投影なんて無駄な魔術を教えたら一般人と変わらないもの。
I got that. But what was that then? The golden sword I imagined was real for a moment and had the real sword's power. Huh? Was it just a freak accident I projected Saber's sword then? Now that I think about it, the amount of magical energy in that sword was remarkable, replicating something that ends up a few hundred times that ends up with the few hundred times the magical energy I myself have done. Replicating something that ends up with a few hundred times the magical energy I myself has does seem pretty weird.
それはそのきっとシロは剣と相性がいいのよ。魔術師はそれぞれ属性を持ってるでしょ。
Huh, I thought she explained this in the next route.
あなたはそれが剣なんだと思う。
Connections? You mean in elements like fire or water?
そう。普通は世界を構成する一元素を背負うものなんだけどね。魔術協会でも火はノーマル、風はノーブルって言われてるじゃない。死水火風空でもいいし、木火土金水でもいい。このうちどれか一つを魔術師は持っているんだけど、中にはさらに分化した属性もあるわ。大抵そういう魔術師は中央には入れず、突出した専門家として名を馳せるらしいけど、それで言うならシローは剣よ。多様性はないけど、こと剣に関しては頂点を狙えるってこと。
I see. That's probably true. I've always been fascinated with swords. Now I'm curious about Tosaka's specialty. Knowing her, it's probably fire or wind, or something else that'd suit someone like her, but I should probably just ask since I'm curious. Hey Tosaka, I'm curious, what's your specialty?
私は五大元素っていう属性だけど。
Does she mean all of them?
ともかく、私が言えることなんてそんなものよ。投影は虚栄って言われるぐらい意味のないものだから、あまり多用はしないこと。それにね、セイバーの剣を模造するなんてそんなのは自殺行為よ。あの時はうまくいったからいいものの、本来なら自滅していてもおかしくなかった。
Just like we create the sword next time and it's like, that wasn't sword!
あんたも言ってたけど、セイバーの剣の魔力はシローの魔力のキャパシティを超えているのよ。それを複製するってことは、自分の魔術回路の限界を軽くオーバーしてるってわかるでしょ。
Yeah, I know, but it's not so easy to go beyond your own limits, right? I thought I couldn't go any further anyway because I was already at my limit to begin with.
いけるわ。だからこそ魔術師は死と隣り合わせなんじゃない。魔術が形式に沿ったものなら 知識さえあればどんな魔術だって行えるのは同意でしょ。たとえ自分では再現不可能の奇跡だって分かっていても、それにチャレンジすることは誰にでもできる。魔術師なんて動力源に過ぎない。小さなエンジンでもアクセルを踏み続けていれば規定以上のスピードは出る。けどその先にあるのは自滅しかない。それと同じよ。魔術師っていうのはね、自滅さえ覚悟するなら限界なんて簡単に超えられる。魔術回路を焼き切らせて神経をズタズタにして、それでも魔力を回転させていけば奇跡に手は届くわ。あなたの投影はまさにそれよ。戦いの後ずっと体が熱かったのは神経が焼き切れていたからだもの。それが分不相応な魔術の代償よ。手足の1本や2本壊れて当然のことをあなたはしたの。
Tosaka's voice Tosaka's voice grows a little louder, but at the same time,
だから覚えておきなさい、エミヤ君。自分の限界を超えた魔術は術者を廃人にするわ。セイバーの剣を投影するなんてもう二度とやらないで。
Tosaka is worried about me, genuinely. After a warning, Tosaka prescribed some medicine and I'm not familiar with.
まあ無理するなって言っても無駄だろうしね。気休めだろうけど、もしもの時の痛め止めぐらいは飲んどきなさい。うまくいけばあざで変色した肌も治るかもしれないし。
Tosaka explained this as she prepared some kind of green powdery medicine. I drink it with some tea. Tosaka rummages through her stuff and tries to prescribe some other medicine. Anyway, I feel bad for Tosaka having to go through all her stuff just for me, but I feel like I'm wasting time just sitting here. I should... Let's ask about projection in more detail. Yeah. I think I got what projection magic is all about, but I want more detail. Especially the part about taking an image and giving it shape. Hey Tosaka, sorry to interrupt you, but...
何よ、早くしろってんなら蹴っ飛ばすわよ。探し物が見つからなくてイライラしてるのはこっちなんだから。どうしてこうしまったはずのものがなくなってるのよ、この家は。
Mood. She complains to herself as she searches. Classic Tosaka. Especially the part where she stumbles in the preparation phase, even though she executes everything else flawlessly. Come on, forget about it. Can you just tell me about what we were discussing earlier? The stuff about how projections or replicas is created using images?
まあいいわ。話しておくことはあんたのためになるかもしれないし。
She's definitely in a bad mood. She tossed aside the duffel bag she'd been rummaging through and plops down in a chair.
じゃあ手短に説明するわね。投影っていうのは手持ちにないものをその時だけ使うためのものよ。逆に言えばこの世にないもの、とっくに失われたものさえ復元することができる。本物を寸分たがわず想像できれば、あとは魔力で一時的に編み上げられるってこと。この投影したものは魔力の期間に応じて消えていくのは話したわよね。どんなに強い魔力でもイメージで編み上げた物体はだんだんと薄れていく。いいえ、それだけじゃないわ。そんな幻想は世界そのものが許さない。だから投影によって編み上げられたものは一日だって世界にはとどまれない。
Huh? What do you mean the world won't allow it?
幻想は幻想だから何でもありなの。それがもし形を得てしまったら、それはもう現実でしょ。けど現実にはそんなものは存在しない。その矛盾を解消するためにね、現実が幻想を潰しにかかるのよ。いい？魔術ってのは元からあるものに手を加えて違うものに切り替える現象を言うの。言うなれば変化、等価交換よ。けど幻想に等価交換も何もない。イメージで作られたものが世界のどこにもない場合、それは絶対の矛盾になる。だからこの時代にありえないセーバーの剣なんて投影したら、世界そのものがその幻想を破壊する。世界とつながって奇跡を起こすのはいいけど、世界にない奇跡を起こすのはご法度だから。通常の魔術っていうのは世界のどこかにある実物を目の前に持ってきて使うことよ。けど投影魔術は人間のイメージを彩色する。いかに魔術といえど、ここにないものを作り上げてはいけない。それは現実を侵食する幻想に他ならないから。生物が自己防衛を最優先するように、世界だって自己防衛を最優先する。世界にとっての命は秩序でしょ。だから秩序を乱す矛盾、現実を侵食する幻想は世界そのものに握りつぶされるのよ。
Tosaki explains it rapidly, all in one breath. I don't understand half of it. I see, so what I did was way beyond my limit.
だからそう言ったじゃない。投影はあなたの命を削る魔術だから、セイバーにねだられても使っちゃダメよ。
Tosaka resumes rummaging through her stuff. As I watch her blankly, I'm reminded again that me beating Berserker really was a miracle. And after giving me several medications, Tosaka instructed me to do simple strengthening exercises while we keep an eye on how my body reacts. Apparently, she is checking to see that nothing goes wrong inside me when I use magical energy. Honestly, Tosaka seems more like a doctor more than a teacher today.
よし、問題はないみたいね。この分なら明日はもう来なくていいわ。
Eh? That's a bit of a surprise. I don't have to come tomorrow. That means...
当然じゃない。今の状況で私があなたに教えることなんてないもの。本気で魔術を習う。それにもうアーチャーはいないでしょ。素人の協力関係はもうとっくに終わってたのよ。当然じゃない。今の状況で私があなたに教えることなんてないもの。本気で魔術を習いたいんなら、この戦いが終わってからにするべきよ。
What? I suddenly realized our alliance was only so we could defeat Berserker. Now that Berserker is gone and Tosaka doesn't have a servant anymore, our living arrangement should be over. Should have ended yesterday even. So what are you going to do now, Tosaka? Are you going to go to Kotamine's place? That'd probably be the normal thing to do. Tosaka and Father Kotamine are student and disciple, so it shouldn't be an issue for her to go asking him for protection.
なんで？行くわけないじゃない。まだ負けてもいないのに。サーバントがいなくなったから戦えないなんてことはないでしょ。それにやり逃げってのも趣味じゃないしね。一度戦うと決めたからには最後まで事の顛末を確かめるのが責任でしょ。
She says it like it should be the most obvious thing in the world, and she's proud of it about that. My eyes widen. Well, okay, maybe not. I should have expected this from Tosaka. She's unbelievably stubborn, absolutely selfish, and captivatingly brilliant. Hey Farami, welcome to the stream. How's your day? Then what are you going to do? Are you going out on your own now? There are still servants and masters left.
そうね。だからしばらくはここで情報を集めるわ。竜道寺の調査も再開しないといけないし。
You're going to stay here? Are you sure? It'd be a big help if you stayed, but our alliance ended, so...
何言ってるのよ。バザーカーに勝てたのはあーちゃんのおかげでしょ。協力関係は終わったけど、その借りはまだ貸したままよ。返済が終わるまでここを提供するのは当然じゃない。
And you're going to be making the food completely from now on.
それに責任は最後まで取るって言ったでしょ。ちょっとの間だったけど指定になったしね。あなたを一人にしたら頼りなくって心配で、聖杯戦争どころじゃなくなるわ。
Oh, right. It feels like a lifetime ago, so I nearly forgotten, but I admired Ren because of exactly those qualities for a long time now. I hope you're enjoying it. So I'm actually very happy. That's the Tosaka I've always known and liked. Besides, if I ever saw the day a girl as stubborn as her gives up, I wouldn't know what to believe from then on. Yeah, thanks for sticking around, Tosaka. Whatever else I might say, I wouldn't know what to do without you. Saber and I need you, Tosaka.
いいけど、あんたその言い回しはやめなさいってば。馬鹿正直なのはいいけど、気をつけないと誤解を招くわよ。
Chiro's got the riz. Huh? I'm not sure why that upset Tosaka so much. Tosaka, what do you mean I might give people the wrong idea? What wrong idea? And yet he's still dense as a brick.
あのね、今のは失言なの。聞くなって態度で表してるんだから、追求するのはルール違反よ。
Tosaka must be aware of some secret rule I'm not.
呆れた。これじゃセイバーも大変だわ。まあ、それともあんたたちはそれでちょうどいいのかもね。少しぐらい麻痺してないと、あなたもセイバーもダメなのかもしんないし。
Okay, I still don't get it, but I did admit that's what you said about feeling bad for Saber. What do you mean she has tough? Good God, Chiro.
だから、あんたのそういうところが大変だって言ってるの。その分じゃセイバーの変化になんて気がついてないんでしょ、エミヤ君は。
Changes in Saber? It's not about her appearance, right? Did she change her hair? Should I have said something? If anything would have changed in Saber... Oh, right, she has been acting weird since this morning. No, I just thought she was in a bad mood because Illya was with us. She just sat there all stiff and quiet, and when I asked if there was something wrong, she just got up and left, saying something about having had a dream. And I pretty much forgot about it in all the hustle and bustle over Illya. Yeah, Saber's been a little off since this morning, like her head is somewhere else.
Saber が夢を見た?
Eh? That's a bit of that's the bit that surprises you? And now she's ignoring me. Hey, don't go quiet on me. The face you're making has me nervous.
ああ、別にそんな大したことじゃないわ。単に サーバントは夢を見ないってだけだから。
Huh? My voice break? Servants don't dream?
そうよ。サーバントは夢なんて見ないわ。それでも見たって言うんなら、それは夢じゃない。単に誰かの記憶を垣間見ただけの話よ。
Maybe Tosaka has experienced it before. The coldness in her voice ran and so counter to her usual cheerfulness. And now it's time to prepare dinner. With so much happening these past few days, I thought the whole cooking rotation had gone out the window, but then...
今日の夕食お願いね。今夜もまた冷えそうだし、イリアもいるし、シチューとかいいんじゃない？
And I'll leave it to you again tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after, and the day after. Basically, I'm just telling you to give me free food. She steps out of her room as she speaks.